Now, here in Lagos, Speaker of the State Assembly MudashiruObasa says the decision to disqualify 17 commissioner nominees was born out of their constitutional responsibility. This reaction is coming following widespread criticism against the decision of the lawmakers to reject some of the nominees sent by Governor BabajideSanwo-olu. Abimbola Agbebi reports.
Recording of official list of nominees for appointment as commissioners and special advisors.
It all started on the 3rd of August when 39 names of commissioner nominees were forwarded to the lawmakers by Governor BabajideSanwo-olu for approval. The list was immediately faulted by some of the lawmakers who shared their reservations at the plenary, which had the Speaker pleading for the lawmakers' understanding, asking that the detailed information about the nominees be sent to the House to aid its legislative assignment. A 12-man ad hoc committee headed by the Chief Whip of the House, Fatai Mojid, was set up to begin the screening of the nominees, an exercise that lasted 4 days. At the plenary on Wednesday, the 23rd of August, the report of the ad hoc committee was presented to the House, after which 22 of the 39 names of commissioner nominees forwarded to it for approval were confirmed. 17 others were rejected. Nominees like Akin Abayomi, a former commissioner for health in the state, were among names that were disqualified by the lawmakers. This unprecedented move has got many talking, raising the issue of possible face-off between the two arms of government. The Speaker of the House, MudashiruObasa, has a response to these insinuations.
We are placing politics ahead of technocrats. What technocrats? What do you mean about technocrat? Who is not technocrat in these hollow chambers? Before them, we have many people. They talk about Dr. Akin Abayomi, a gentleman, which who happens to be a colleague also in serving the people. But before him, we have Leke Pito, we have Dr. Idris, we have many of them. Before COVID, which happened to be an isolated case, we have Ebola, which was also taken care of under Fashola. It's not about qualification. It's not about your experience. It's not about exposure. We are the representative of the people, the mouthpiece, the ears, and the sights of the people. So we know what we look for. We talk about Aramide, the commissioner for what? Before him, we did Ikoyi, Victoria Island Link Bridge under Fashola, when the current deputy governor, Amsa, was the commissioner for works. The House, as a body, restrained itself from exposing what we discovered during the screening exercise. So we are not going to be forced to spill.
With recent developments, the fate of the 17 rejected commissioner nominees still hang in the balance. Abimbola Agbebi, TVC News, Lagos.
Now, the federal government has set up an inter-agency collaboration to ensure effect of the opening of the Lagdo Dam in Cameroon does not become fatal in Nigeria. This follows warnings that intense flooding will be experienced in some states in the next 7 days. Mayor Thomas has the story.
The federal government on Monday confirmed that Lagdo Dam has been opened by the Cameroonian authorities and that all the frontline states may experience flooding within the next 7 days. It is a matter of grave concern that had prompted the first collaborative meeting between the Ministers of Water Resources, Environment and Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. The aim is to find a solution to the perennial flood problems in Nigeria. The ministers acknowledge it is a collective responsibility and the bulk of the work is at the state and local government levels. They want individuals also to take preventive measures such as clearing drainage and keeping their environment clean.
We are going to be working with the state government and even the local governments to provide this temporary shelter for them. This is part of the humanitarian intervention in those areas. Of course, we had mentioned other interventions, including food and the rest of them. State governments have actually been responsive. However, it has not been very adequate to cater for all the persons affected. And so we are encouraging the Nigerian Governors Forum to step up on its actions.
Removing unwanted structures that are blocking waterways, and also keeping the environment clean to reduce the menace of flooding, as the government at its own end is putting 1 or 2 measures in place for total eradication of this flooding.
We are issuing hourly warning alerts on floods, not only with respect to the River Benue, but in most parts of the country, including River Niger, and even in the south of Nigeria, we're issuing hourly alerts.
The ministers are quick to assure that the water level is not a threat yet, and that measures are just being put in place should rain volumes increase. The meeting has now gone into a closed-door session where they will come up with recommendations to be forwarded to President Bola Tinubu on efforts to mitigate and prevent further flood disasters in Nigeria. Moya Thomas, TVC News, Abuja.